Hello everybody, it's Asset Builder here and just want to put a video together, and today's topic is, can gold protect you against inflation? So while many individuals will claim that gold is a hedge against inflation and will be a good protection of your assets and your wealth against protection, others have been strong to vocalize that cash is king. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the interesting comparison between gold and cash. Hello and welcome back. It's Asset Builder. Back to you with today's conversation and topic: can gold protect you against inflation? And I guess while some will view gold as being a great protector against your future inflation and protector of your wealth, cash is king with the mindset of many of us out there. So the vast majority of individuals still operate in cash, still store their wealth in a bank account, and have very little, if any, of their wealth stored in gold. So which of the two strategies is the right way forward? You guys chime in on your comments and feedback below. This is an open conversation. Would love to hear your viewpoints. However, here's a couple of examples that I've noted in my research, and as an example, what did products and goods and services cost 100 years ago compared to today, and how did gold and silver stack up against those prices? So let's illustrate a couple of examples. First one with silver. So what did a loaf of bread, as an example, cost in 1917, about 100 years ago? And according to my research, a loaf of bread was about 10 cents. 10 cents a loaf. So when we walked around with silver dollars in our pocket, those beautiful Morgan dollars that we used to circulate in our economy, one silver dollar probably bought you 10 loaves of bread. So at 10 cents a loaf, that certainly allowed you to buy 10 loaves of bread with one silver dollar. So fast forward 100 years to today's economy, 2017. One loaf of bread certainly is not 10 cents anymore. It is anywhere between $3 and $5, right? And the price of silver per ounce is about $17 an ounce. So what did the silver buy you 100 years ago? Well, that silver Morgan dollar probably had 0.7 ounces of silver. Silver, would have been, buying you that 10 loaves of bread, whereas today, the ounce of silver at $17, that Morgan dollar probably is around $14 worth of silver. Probably buys you about, let's do quick math off the top of my head, about 5 or so loaves of bread. So did silver keep up? Possibly, but definitely, protecting your wealth nonetheless. If you would have kept it in cash, had you kept that dollar in your bank account, it's certainly a dollar today is nowhere near able to buy you 10 loaves of bread. So that's silver as an example. So over to gold. Would gold protect you against inflation? So gold certainly would have been used to purchase bigger products or larger services, so namely automobiles or a house. So let's use the example of a house. How many ounces of gold would have been required back in 1917 to buy a standard stock average home in the United States 100 years ago compared to 2017 today? So about 100 years ago, 1917, an ounce of gold would have been $20 an ounce, and the average price of a home in 1917 was about $4,000. So about 200 ounces of gold would be required to buy the average standard stock house in the United States back in 1917. So if we fast forward to today, 100 years later, 2017, how many ounces of gold would be required to purchase a standard stock house today? Well, in the United States, the average price of a standard stock house is about $275,000. So, and I recognize that certain parts of the United States, certain parts of the country are going to be more expensive and others are cheaper. But if, for the purposes of this video, to keep it a little bit more simplified in our discussion, let's just use the median price of a standard stock house at about $275,000 for a house in the United States. And at today's gold price of about $1,200 per ounce, we're looking at about just over 200 ounces of gold required to buy the average standard stock house in this country. So did gold keep up with inflation? Did silver keep up with inflation? Maybe it fell just shy of it, right? However, did it protect your wealth? Absolutely it did, because certainly if you had $4,000 to buy a house in 1917 and you stashed that money in a bank account with the bank, what would you have today in terms of purchasing power? You certainly would not be able to buy a house today. That $4,000, in your bank account, it would have earned some interest. Bank accounts did at one point pay a decent amount of interest. However, I highly, highly doubt that $4,000 would have grown to $275,000 for purchasing a home today. So that's my analysis. I certainly think that gold, your gold stack would have protected you against inflation. Maybe not 100%, but certainly definitely would have protected your wealth from the deteriorating effects of inflation. And whether you stack silver or you stack gold, I think both are excellent means of protecting and preserving your wealth. So definitely comment below. I'd love to hear feedback and your opinions on whether gold and silver are a good means for protecting your wealth over the long term, or whether cash is king. We keep hearing cash is king. So send me your feedback, send me your comments, let me know your opinions and your strategy. Definitely hit that like button. That's certainly going to help in terms of getting viewership and this video out there. And subscribe to my channel. Lots of great content already uploaded and lots more great content still to come. Thank you very much, everybody.